Obi-Doo, it's everyone's favorite boomer and vintage lens enthusiast. Before we start, I was going to give a brief side story about my health. I stubbed my toe, so I went to the doctor because it swelled up a little bit and got like black and blue. So while I was there, he said, "Oh, just put some over-the-counter antibiotics on it, but I want you to take this this survey test to see if there's any other issues." So I said, "Okay." And it started asking me questions like, when you go to a Jewish delicatessen, do you wear yellow? I said, yes, I do. So when you go to an Italian restaurant, do you wear red? And I said, yes, I do. And it says, if you go get ice cream, do you either wear a white or a brown shirt? And I said, yes, I do. So there's a bunch of other questions sort of that nature. So I finished it out and I gave it to the doctor, and he came back 5 minutes later, and he goes, well, everyone's favorite boomer, it looks like you have FDS. I said, FDS, what's that? He goes, that's fashion deficit syndrome. I said, what? He goes, well, based on these questions, it looks like this is the only diagnosis we could come to. I said, how do you know that? He goes, well, here's, for example, when you go to a Jewish delicatessen, you wear yellow. Why is that? I said, well, in case I get something with mustard and it falls on my shirt, you can't see it. I said, okay, what about if you go to an Italian restaurant? Well, you know, say you get a pizza and some of the tomato sauce falls on your shirt. If it's red, you can't see it. I said, well, what about the ice cream shop? Well, if I go to an ice cream shop and I'm going to get vanilla ice cream, I wear a white shirt. And if I'm going to get chocolate, I wear a brown shirt. He goes, well, that's it. You have fashion deficit syndrome. And so I said, well, Doc, how long do I got? And he laughs, hoo, 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 hoo. Well, you're not going to die from it, but you're going to die with it. And I said, well, is there anything I could do to mitigate the symptoms? And he goes, well, there's drunkenness. I said, Doc, I'm doing that already. So he goes, well, then we'll have a follow-up visit, and we'll do some more tests. And that's where it stands right now. I got FDS. So what can I say? What can I do? Nothing. So at least I'm not going to die from it immediately. So, but let's get back into photography. I have here SMC-PENTAX 1.2 28mm, Asaya Optical Company, Japan. I bought this quite a while ago, and it's a fellow because it took good pictures on anything that wasn't close to infinity. Even stopped down, I was getting really mediocre results with it. And even if I put it on a Pentax K camera and it has a focus confirmation, it was damn hard to capture that focus. And even relying on the depth of field scale, I was getting very spotty results. So I set it aside, and in the meantime, I was buying extra dumb adapters like the photodiox. This is Pentax K to NEX, which is the Sony E mount. And I got this one. And by happenstance, I put this lens on it, and I went shooting with it, and I noticed I was getting really outstanding results. And what it is there must be manufacturing variabilities in these adapters, and the lens just barely hits focus. So this is barely hits focus. That means the depth of field scale is accurate, and I could use the this hyperfocus distance scale also, depending on what f-stop I got. So I have another photodiox PK NEX. It looks exactly the same, but that was getting mediocre results with it. So I'm going to do, here I'll show you what I'm going to do. I'll probably do a video of it, but I thought I'd mention it real quickly. So I'm going to take this ring off. There's 4 screws holding it on. So you take the ring off. I'm going to look at this ring. I'm going to see if there's a flat area that I could machine or grind down like 5/1000ths. If I could grind it down 5/1000ths, then maybe that adapter will work just as well. There we go. But that remains to be seen. That's one of my summertime projects for 2024. So I decided to do a photo shoot out between this lens at 2.8 24, and I also have the Canon 2.8 24mm and FD mount. Now Photodiox also makes adapters for them, and I've never seen one of those where it didn't focus to infinity. In fact, infinity was always somewhere around here, so it's always a little bit in. So I don't care. I'm going to lose a little bit at the closest focusing distance, but it's most important to be able. I like the fact that it goes past infinity a little bit, and then you can catch the right infinity focus. So I sort of like that, and I got no problem with it. Now the FD mount has some other issues because the new FD lenses, you twist the whole lens, but their older FD just had a silver ring, and then it had a blue ring where it was either in an install position or a stop down position. So you always had to make sure of that, but that's a different issue. So these lenses were about the same price. Like I said, I bought this some time ago. I noticed the price of used lenses has gone up significantly. Now, instead of getting an excellent copy for X bucks, you're getting only a very good copy for X bucks. So not only you're losing value, but you're taking a step down in quality. So what's the bottom dollar? This is a fantastic lens. And I've read about a lot of people complain that it's soft at infinity. So apparently, I don't want to take the lens apart, but there's some screws you could loosen, like 3 screws, probably underneath this ring. And then you could adjust this focus. You'd have to look at some sort of chart or go outside, do it outside. Set it for infinity, something that's like 1,000 feet away. You should probably do it. And of course, you would have to use your live view magnifier. And then you could lock it, and then you're good to go. But I was lucky that I was able to find a Photodiox that has a little bit in. It's a little bit shorter than maybe the other one was. And this thing focused, that's almost exactly infinity. Rather than infinity being here, infinity's right there. Before, on some other adapters, if I was to go to maximum live magnification and then go there, that's not infinity. It wouldn't go in far enough. So that was the problem with this lens. That you could focus anything else, and it was a really great lens, but at infinity, it says it was no good for landscapes. Well, don't you want a 24mm for landscapes or cityscapes? So that sort of negates one of the uses of this lens. So it's all well that end well. But it was probably on Pentax's fault, a Sony optical company in Japan. Maybe they had a bad setup with their calibration equipment or something. I don't know. I don't care. Now I sort of like this lens. And I did a photo shootout, like I said, with the Canon FD, the same aperture and focal length. And what I did is I went to a car show in a town close to me, Ringwood, and it was a small car show, but it was free. And I was there for like 2 hours, and I left because it got too hot. It was a cloudy bright and a little bit cool, just a little bit cool. But then when I left, the sun came out and started to get hot. I had to leave. So what you're going to do is you're going to see some photos from that photo shoot. And then I'm going to have another video following this one of the Canon FD. Now I could put them both together, but I think that the videos would be too long together and you wouldn't want to watch the whole thing. So I try to keep my videos less than 20 minutes and closer to 15 minutes whenever I can, because, modern days and ADHD or whatever it is that people have. Just like I have FDS, some people have other of these syndromes where it affects their ability to function in normal society. So there's that. Now, this is a fine lens. It takes really good pictures. I kept it at f8, and I don't know, even a 24mm f8 seems to have a very shallow depth of field, when I pixel peep. So it says you could get from infinity down to 3 feet. I don't think so. It looks a lot shallower to me when you pixel peep on these 20 megapixel chips. Of course, I could have went to somewhat higher ISO, and I could have stopped on the f11 or f16, but f8 is the perfect trade-off from it gets rid of more wide open aberrations, and the diffraction effects don't kick in like it does at these smaller apertures. So why don't we just look at some pictures and you'll see for yourself. Oh, this is the Sony A or Alpha 5000. Since I have two of them, I didn't have to swap lenses. I just kept this one on, and the other one had the Canon on it. I noticed the Canon seemed to be shooting brighter, so I don't know if you know, this isn't radioactive. Let's look. Let's open it up. That does not look yellow to me, or is it? I'll have to stick a Geiger counter on it later and see, but usually that's the only thing that would yellow the glass that I know of. But for some reason, I was shooting at way faster shutter speeds at the same ISO, and I had to because it was overexposing, even though it was set at f8. Now, I was looking at the aperture, but they had a slightly different optical configuration, so it's hard to tell, you know, in these wide-angle lenses, is that really f8, you know? I mean, you could click down, count, and see that it is going down, but, you know, it's hard to tell. So, that's where it stands right now. We're going to look at the SMC-PENTAX K f2.8 24mm at a car show, and if, like I said, following at the same exact car show, we're going to see the Canon f2.8 24mm, and then is there a difference? You know what I'm saying? Oh, I just want to mention the build quality. The build quality is outstanding, excellent. It's all metal except for this rubber focusing ring, whereas this is the Canon is a new FD where you twist the whole lens. It doesn't have the silver ring. And, well, let's face it, Canon was exploring new technologies to reduce complex manufacturing. Like, you know, just imagine they have to have a machine shop to machine all these things, where if you use a lot of plastic parts, you can injection mold them, and then you could you know, have all the cost of the lens is, you know, partly mitigated by simpler manufacturing techniques for focusing and mounting mechanism. So there's that. And I got to give this A+ for mechanical build quality, whereas you know, the Canon I give A-. So it's close, but there's a difference. So let's go jump into these pictures, and then we'll take it from there. I'm on the Starship Enterprise, and that humming you hear in the background is just warp drives. So I was on shore leave, and I went to Ringwood, and they were having a car show there, and I got there. It was like sort of cloudy, bright, a little cool, and I shot this Pentax 24mm f2.8 K-mount on the Sony A5000, and it did a really good job because the adapter I was using allowed the thing to focus to infinity. So I was getting much better results than I was with some other adapter where it just would not hit infinity. And for some reason, the lens was weak and didn't seem like it was working right. So I was very pleased with these results. Very pleased with these results. It's a small car show. Maybe there's like 75 cars there or something. And it was free. It was the Ringwood Holiday Observers sponsored it. It's their first annual show. It was in some strip mall off of Main High Road, and I thought it was pretty cool. I seen some cars I didn't see anywhere else. I talked to some people about their cars. A lot of people like to talk about their cars, how they happen to come by them, how they restored them, stuff like that. I'm always amazed by this ancient chrome without pits or rust. You know, I said, well, this car was in a garage for 40 years. I said, wow. It's original paint job, the guy's telling me. I go, wow. You know, so you don't know what to think anymore, really. Here's a American flag, obligatory American flag for Memorial Day. It's Memorial Day weekend. Ringwood Holiday Observers, their annual car show. So that's good to know. There's a lot of vets there, older vets, newer vets, which is interesting, but I like the older cars myself. Cars that are like 50, 60, 70 years old. This lens I was shooting, I think they discontinued it in the 1980s, so it can't be newer than like 40 years. I don't know what the production run was, but it's a fine performer. Of course, it's all manual. That is, there's no automatic shutter, there's no automatic focus. I had the camera in S mode, where I would set the I would set the aperture on the lens and then dial in the shutter speed with the thumb wheel. And I thought it did really good. You can see these are shots from close up to further away. There's overviews and detail shots. So it's a nice lens. And of course, there's a wide range of contrast, in as much as there's no hard contrast. There's no other white and blacks or low and high contrast, because it was cloudy bright. You can see there's no shadows under the cars at all. I like to take pictures of these chrome and get self-portraits in them. Of course, I'm all distorted like a funhouse mirror. But what's the bottom dollar? It's an excellent lens, excellent build quality. They're a little pricey now, and they're hard to come by. They're not like easy to get. You may have better luck finding one. More power to you. But you know, on an APS-C chip, a crop sensor, it's equivalent to like a 35mm on a full frame camera. There's actually a Tesla there. I like this emblem. I don't know if they all have that emblem, but this one here, weird emblem. Maybe the guy paid extra for that. I don't know. Gull-wing doors. A lot of people with their dogs there. You know, I was surprised. They had a Woody there. I've been seeing a couple Woodies in different shows that were all, you know, in excellent condition. So it's a hodgepodge mix-up of all different types of cars. A lot of people were there milling around. It's a free show in a shopping center. What do you expect? And they had a live band there. He only played a couple of tunes. They had some monster trucks there. Here's a monster truck. Pretty cool. This is underneath the monster truck. I mean, the ground was dry, so I could sit on the blacktop without, you know, getting wet or dirty. That was pretty cool. Now, I did a companion shoot at the same time with the Canon FD 24mm f2.8, and I'm doing a video of that, and you can compare these two videos. They're not exact the same pictures, because I shot this set first, and then I took the twin A5000 out with the Canon FD on it, and then I shot some more pictures. And the lighting had changed. By the time I had the Canon out, the sun had broken through the clouds, and it was more bright with stronger shadows, and so it was somewhat different. That's the same subject matter, but not exactly the same subject matter. I walked around a couple times, took very similar pictures, but not exact pictures. So then you could compare these two. Which do you like better, the SMC-PENTAX K or the Canon FD lens? To me, they both looked really close, and either one is good enough for me. Of course, I'm a Canon guy, so I'll probably go with the Canon. But I like this Pentax look. And you never know what sort of strange things you'll see at a car show, that's for sure. So stay tuned, and you'll see the Canon very soon.